Hi, everyone, and you are welcome back to Helena's Corner, your safe space for honest conversations around safeguarding, parenting, family life, child protection, and the likes. I'm Helena. Once again, you're welcome to my YouTube channel or whichever social media platform you are watching this video from. Today, we're going to be delving into a topic that so many families don't really talk about openly, but is very, very important. And it is quite common when it comes to most families these days. And we're going to be talking about co-parenting after separation. Whether your split is amicable or complicated or irreconcilable, and all of that, all those words that we use to describe separation, we should always put at the back of our minds that our children's well-being should be the number one focus. All right, the well-being of your child or children should be very, very important to you. Let's talk about practical tips to make that happen, right? So let's talk about co-parenting. What do we understand by co-parenting? Co-parenting, simply put, is when two people share a responsibility of raising their child after a separation or divorce. So it's about two people, mother and father, having to raise a child after a relationship breakdown, separation, divorce, and the likes. Now, it's not just about splitting time or splitting the time the child spends with you. It's about working together, even though you're no longer a couple. Now, that might sound quite straightforward, right? But in reality, emotions, old conflicts, and different parenting styles can make things tricky. The key thing to remember here is that the focus is no longer on both of you as a couple. The focus is your shared responsibility as parents. Now, why does putting children first matter? Think about it. When it comes to separation or divorce, children often feel the impact more deeply than we actually think. They feel the impact of separation, especially when they've lived in a home where there's mom, there's dad, and all of a sudden it's just mom or it's just dad. They find it very difficult to understand. They find it very difficult to grasp. They have a lot of questions like why can't you guys live together? Like what? They really can't get it, and that's why they are more impacted by separation than even we adults. They might experience a lot of anxiety, guilt, confusion, or even fear. And here's the thing: how you and your ex handle this transition for your children can either help them adjust positively or cause long-term emotional strain. And trust me when I say most times it's the latter, right? But as adults, we need to actually think about our children. We need not be selfish when it comes to things like this, especially where children are involved. Putting your children first means making decisions based on what benefits them emotionally, mentally, and physically, even if it means swallowing your pride or compromising on things you feel strongly about. It's about creating a stable, loving environment across both homes. Now, we're going to be sharing practical tips on successful co parenting. Keep communication business like. Yes, I say business like. And why do I say business like? Because how would you communicate in a business setting or in a work setting? You respect each other, you're polite, focused on the child's needs. You don't talk about your issues, you don't talk about arguments, or you don't talk about your relationship. It should focus on the needs of your child. Don't use your children or your child as a messenger. Don't tell your child what to go say to dad when he goes visiting dad, or as a father telling your child what to say when he goes to mom's. You really, really need to keep things respectful, polite, and child focused. Create consistent routines across homes. Sometimes it can be difficult to actually have the same type of routines across both homes. However, in the best interest of your child, it's always good for you to have the same type of routines, just so that it will help the child and give the child stability, so that the child doesn't have to be at mom's and do things a different way, be at dad's and do something else, things a different way. All right, because it's going to cause confusion. And of course, we all know that children thrive on routines: bedtime, homework schedules, meal times, and all. Consistency between homes reduces anxiety and helps them feel secure. Even small consistencies, like similar bedtime stories or morning rituals, can make a very big difference. Three, avoid negative talk about the other parents. This is something I see a lot. This is something that happens a lot. Remember, your child is 50% you and 50% the other parent. When you badmouth your ex, you risk damaging your child's self esteem. All right? Keep adult issues between adults. Let your child form their own relationship with both parents. Do not badmouth your ex to your child. This is something I get quite a lot. Mothers badmouthing their fathers, their ex-partners to their children. It's going to affect the child, because at the end of the day, whoever you're badmouthing is either his mother or his father. And the child will be confused. Okay, if this person is like this, why were you with the person in the first place? Why did you both create me if you're both bad people or whatever? You're going to make the child anxious, or you're going to make the child confused about what a relationship should actually look like. It's going to confuse the child's perception of a positive relationship. So we need to be careful about what we say in front of our children, and of course, not bad mouthing your ex-partner in front of your children. Respect parenting time. Don't interfere with your co-parent's time or cancel arrangements unless absolutely necessary, because the child needs stability in his life or her life. So canceling appointments should not happen. I say this to a lot of parents I work with, and a lot of parents I know. Canceling your time with your kids, it's a no, because it's going to destabilize them. It's going to make them confused. It's going to make them anxious that what's happening. There needs to be stability. There needs to be consistency in the child's life. All right. And of course, reliability builds trust. We can imagine if someone has an appointment with you, even as an adult, and cancels on you twice, three times. How would you feel? Of course, you're not going to trust that person. You're not going to take the person's words for what the person is saying. Then you can imagine if you do that to your own child, the impact is going to be more, because your child is not going to trust you. And of course, if your ex-partner is probably bad mouthing you, it's going to work. So please do not cancel your time with your children. All right. If something comes up and you need to cancel, always rearrange. Do not cancel outrightly. Be flexible when needed. Life happens. Sickness, school events, emergencies, you have to be flexible. So if your partner calls you, for instance, to say that something is happening at school, and of course the child needs you to be there, then be there. All right. If you need to show up for your child, show up. Being flexible shows maturity and keeps focus on the child's needs rather than strict rules. Of course, flexibility works best when both parents respect it equally. So please be flexible when needed. If your ex-partner calls you to say your child is sick and needs to be taken to the hospital, or there's something, a school event or whatever, always be ready to show up for your child. Number 6, present a united front. Even if you disagree privately, aim to present a united front in front of your child. It stops them from playing parents against each other, and it reinforces stability. All right? Present a united front. Do not argue in front of your children. Do not disagree. You can't do that privately, but in front of the children, present a united front. That's very, very important. Number 7, prioritize self care. You need to take care of yourself. Co parenting can be emotionally draining. I'm going to say that because I co parent, right? It can be emotionally draining because this ex partner that you want out of your life, well, truth is the person is going to be in your life for as long as that child is in your life. So it can be emotionally draining. You need to take care of yourself, make time for your own well-being, and always think positively. Always think positively and look at the bright side. Don't dwell in the past. The past is the past. If there's any forgiveness to be done, forgive. Not for your ex-partner, but for yourself. I'm kind of saying this, from experience. You have to forgive. If you don't forgive, it's going to affect you, it's going to affect that child. All right. So you're not forgiving because you want to forgive the person that hurt you. You're forgiving for yourself and for your child and for the well-being of your child. Seek professional support. Sometimes it can be very difficult to co-parent, especially where there has been a lot of betrayal, deceit, lies, or domestic abuse, or and the likes. It can be hard. Seek professional support if you need any. If communication is breaking down, consider mediation. I tell parents, try to use family members that you still talk to or that has some form of relationship with your ex-partner. Use go to counseling, you know, talk about it. They even have some there are some co-parenting courses online that you can actually do. They help as well. Sometimes a neutral third party can help you move from conflict to cooperation. If you have a mutual friend or a family member that has still got a relationship with your ex-partner, you can go through the person if you don't really want to talk to the person directly. But like I said, you always need to present a united front because your children are not supposed to see that there's actually something wrong. So for your child, you need to present a united front, even though it can be hard, even though it's difficult, but you need to present a united front. And of course, seek professional help is very, very important. If you need it, seek help. Now, we're going to be talking about some common challenges that we might go through, and how to overcome them. One, different parenting styles. That I see every day. Father might believe in another style of parenting, mom might believe in another style of parenting. That is always a problem. However, as two adults, you need to come together, talk about it, agree on core values and rules. You need to talk about it so that your child will not be confused. Okay, why is mom saying this is okay and dad is saying this is not okay? Or why is dad saying this is okay and mom is saying this is not okay? Your child will be confused. So you guys have to come together and agree on core values, principles, and rules. New partners. That is another common challenge. New partners, new wife, new husband. You have to be respectful. You have to have conversations and agree on how to introduce your children to your new partners. Do that slowly and respectfully. Try as much as possible not to introduce your children to new partners you know will not last. I'm saying this because this is what I see. And it's going to make the children very, very confused. Like, what's going on? It's going to confuse their own perception of how a relationship or a positive relationship should look like. So if you have new partners, good and fine. However, before you introduce new partners to your children, You have to really, really take your time to do that. Weigh the relationship, ensure that this relationship is going to be a long lasting one and not one that you introduce today and after a couple of months your child is not seeing the person anymore, because you're going to be confusing your child and you're not teaching your child what a good and positive relationship should look like. So please introduce slowly and respectfully. Talk to the child, make the child understand who that person is and why that person is in your life, because some children don't understand. I'm talking from experience. Some children find it very difficult to fathom why their father cannot live with their mother. So they're confused. So you always have to talk and talk and talk and talk. Yeah. So another point is holidays and special occasions. Yes, plan ahead and keep it fair. Every parent will want to be with their child on their birthdays. Every parent will want to spend some holidays with them. Try and be considerate of the other parents. Keep it fair. Plan ahead. So if you have any plans for your child, speak to your partner, your ex-partner about it. Let them know these are the plans you have, just so that there won't be any clashes or any disagreements or any arguments. And of course, keep it fair. Remember that these bumps on the road don't define your co-parenting journey. How you handle them does. Because these bumps on the road will definitely happen, but how you handle these bumps on the road is what matters, right? So, co-parenting after separation is not always easy. It is not easy. It brings up a lot of emotions, old conflicts, things that you want to forget, but you can't forget because this person is in your life. It's not easy. However, you need to put your children first. You need to put your children first. You give them the gift of stability, love, and security, even if your family looks different now. You give them the gift of stability, love, and security, even if your family looks different now. If you found this video helpful, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more family and parenting support here on Elena's Corner. Share this video with anyone who you feel might need this video or might need the information shared. Remember, you can't change the past, but you can shape a healthy future for your children. Until next time on Helena's Corner. And yeah, like I've always said, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section. If you have any topic you would like me to talk about that you've seen that probably not covered, you can also put it down in the comment section and I will be glad to talk about it. Thank you very much for your time, and until next time on Alina's Corner, bye.